Hi guys, hi. Hi. This is not really gonna be like a talking video much. Wow, my skin looks kind of nice. I don't know, it looks kind of good. Anyway, I'm wearing a robe and heels, but don't zoom in, my legs are not shaved at all. My legs are not shaved at all, but you know, I like heels because, like, I don't know, if you feel like you're in a dense energy and you put on heels, you're kind of like risen above it, like you're like elevated, like the height of the heel is like how much you're like elevated above the like dense heavy energy, right? And if you wear heels, the kind where it's like it feels like a flip-flop, but you have like one little strap around like above your ankle, it feels like you're levitating. And it feels like the reason you feel like you're levitating is because, well, that's hot water in the microwave, but it feels like you're levitating actually because you don't want to break your ankle, or you don't want to like walk on your foot wrong, right? So you're actually just being careful to not jinx yourself, and you're not physically levitating off the ground. But the ankle situation, when you're wearing heels that don't have a lot of ankle support, it pretty much is levitation because it's very like mental. You have to be careful about like the way you walk, but when you forget about being careful about the way you walk, you're automatically careful about it because you're not like it's like you're not like jinxing yourself, but like you kind of are levitating, you're just not off the ground. Like the ankle part of you, I don't know how to explain it. It's like if you don't have an injury coming up that you're supposed to experience, if you will, you know, then you can still wear the shoes and not get the injury. But if you have an injury that you're supposed to be getting at some point in time, then you wear the heels. That's the excuse for the injury. The same way, if you stepped on something wrong, that would be the excuse for the injury, not the actual cause, because the actual cause is mental. But I think it's fun. I always feel like I'm levitating when I'm wearing heels, but I'm not physically off the ground as far as like something touching me is touching the ground. But like, for reference, there really is not like, this is a very loose strap around the ankle, and there's nothing holding my foot in there because this is actually very disconnected from me. Like, like it's very much like nothing is stopping me from like, you know, trying to like walk on it wrong. It's just mental that I'm not. So yeah. It's very, very mental that I'm not. But it's like the magical, like, there's no reason why. Like, I don't have like levitation. I would love that. As far as like off the ground. Does that make sense? I'm not, but it would change my future timeline if I just randomly got an ankle injury. So theoretically, you actually have to position it. Say you want like levitation to be something that can spontaneously accidentally happen. So you're about to fall, but then what breaks your fall is levitation. Well, that just means that the fall was going to be what you were protected from because your future was like stronger than that. It kind of all goes back to that. It's like whatever you needed to be protected from, but it's very hard to be important enough to have that happen, because even if it happens one time, the odds of it happening again very low, right? Because things have to make sense to you and your mind is not going to think that makes sense. You have to be like the most magical person on earth to think you levitating makes sense. For most people, anybody levitating wouldn't make sense, but for a lot of people, especially if it's themselves, they can't prove it was like fake or whatever. So it's gonna like mess with them. You literally have to be studying magic for like forever, like your whole life, I think, for real levitation to like make sense to you, and also feel earned, because you're not gonna just receive something that doesn't feel like earned, I guess. Like you have to like practice and practice and practice, and oh my gosh, like imagine like the ripping your hair out trying to practice levitation, but like you never lift off the ground. But it's not embarrassing because you're the only person you've ever met who practiced levitation, and that's supposed to mean something. My house is creaking. It makes me feel like there's spirits. Like, I know it's like raining outside, but it makes me feel like there's like spirits outside the door that like can't get in, but they're like thinking about it and they're like trying to listen from outside. Anyway, that's the majority of the insanity. But yeah, it doesn't mean you won't get the ankle injury. It just means if you were protected from it, there was a specific reason. Or if it happened to you, there was a specific reason, but yeah, if you believe in that. But I think you do if you clicked on this video. The topic of the video is not levitation. I turned off my ceiling fan for this. I've never, almost in my lifetime, I've never turned off the, like my dad always like is the one who controls like the ceiling fans in the rooms. Like I've never, the ceiling fan in my room has been on for like 15 years straight. Cause I've never like turned it on or off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always on. Like, I don't know. But the fan in the living room occasionally has turned off, but it was my dad who turned it off. I've only like touched the like controls for it like probably like 3 times in my life. I don't know. I don't know why. It just isn't even something I think of as an option. But if you're gonna try like telekinesis, you have to have like tinfoil that, like all I did was get tinfoil and like cut it with scissors. That's all I did so far. So you have to, I got 2 pieces, but you have to have it and then not have like a ceiling fan on or like wind, because that'll mess it up. Then you're not gonna know if it was you or something else. So you like, I feel like you try to avoid that. I try to avoid that. I don't know what you personally do, but like that's what I try to avoid. I don't know, like I feel like I don't know how to practice levitation other than like wearing heels or something. Like I feel like there's very like subtle ways that like the energy of levitation is like there, but like I don't, like when I just sit there and meditate and like try to lift off the ground and it never works. At least I feel like with telekinesis I can like hold myself accountable and like prove that I practiced even if nothing happens. Does that make sense? And I feel like I'm very much in the phase of like, maybe nothing happens, maybe I get really lucky. So I feel like I can at least practice and hold myself accountable for it, even if it's harder. I don't know if it's harder while recording to get results, because I actually feel like I don't know, it might get in the way of results, or it might cause results. I don't know yet, or it might do neither, but I feel like I'm holding myself accountable for like practicing by like posting it, because then I can prove to myself like, here's a full video that I did. So then in like 10 years when I'm like, oh, do I have this ability or do I not, I have this entire archive of videos that I practiced, so I know how much time I put into it. So if I do get results, then I know how much time it took to get results, and I can look at it and be like, oh, this makes sense. So I'm not gonna feel like I didn't practice it to like deserve the ability in a way, but like But also, what else was I gonna say? I think you know what I mean. But it doesn't have to be 10 years. It could be like a year. It could be tomorrow. But like, I want to have like multiple videos so I can look back on it and be like, oh, in this video I upgraded in that way, or in that video I downgraded in that way, and then like I figured this out, and then I figured that out, and like I know the order of it. I feel like that means something. But I understand that there's all the ways I can get in the way. But I also feel like if I'm like strong enough, then it'll work anyway. And then if there's any obstacles in my path in the future coming up, I can like move them out of my way ahead of time, but I don't know how that works. But I'm not only thinking like there's no object in front of me, I'm gonna like hopefully someday levitate it. I don't know, dude, but like move it a tiny bit. Which the majority of what I've been able to do is just shift it like a little tiny bit. Like it'll move like an inch or like a centimeter, you know. But like if I know I did it, then I know I did it. And the point isn't to like prove it to you, because I know at the end of the day there's gonna be like, you're born either believing that it's real or not real, unless you're the one doing it yourself. Like it's really hard to change that, because there's always the people who are like, oh, it doesn't look real, well there's a string somehow. Which, first of all, obviously they wouldn't say that about mine because nothing happens. So I feel like if I got hate comments, they would be like, it's not real, clearly. Like, and then I'd be like, you're so right, because it didn't move. It's not real yet, but like I'm hoping that for me, like it will be, because like I know there's people who can, and I just look up to the people who can, and like I totally follow accounts where they can do real telekinesis, but like I know they've been practicing for like 9 years. It's always people who started when they were like 5, and they've been practicing for like 9-10 years or whatever, who just have like insane abilities, like throw your TV across the room. That scared me. I think it's a beetle. My whole house is like creaking unnecessarily. It's so scary. I'm gonna take a break from talking, because like, you know, but I'm gonna get my water, and then I don't even know if you can see. Well, I haven't set them up yet. Can you? I might scoot you backwards, but I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm gonna scoot you back and we'll see. don't really know what I want it to look like. I'm not going for a specific shape. Oopsie. And when I do it, so I'm trying to build up the energy like in my hands first. I do try to picture, I kind of do it like a meditation, like I don't force it to be something specific, but I do try to picture like what does the energy look like? So when I was kind of going like this, like I was trying to kind of, and people have different ways of doing it, I was trying to kind of like create like a ball of energy a little bit. An experiment, okay? I know it works for some people, but I was really trying to like use my creative like visions to picture like what it looks like. So I was definitely picturing like light blue, but I was picturing these like wet like spider webs that and it kind of looked like yarn a little bit, but it wasn't like a full ball of yarn. It was like little spider webs I was like building up, but like very light blue, like kind of like neon like throat chakra blue, right? So that's sort of what I was picturing. Rubbing my hands together, I was more so picturing like I was rubbing like chicken eggs like between my hands a little bit, like egg yolks and stuff, like, but I was also picturing paint of different colors like mixing into it, but it still isn't at a level where I'm strong enough that it does anything right now. But I had a little more energy in my first telekinesis video, or like maybe first couple, but like what happened was I had a lot of energy, but I couldn't like control it, so I couldn't prevent, like, if my hand was like next to it but I wasn't trying to do anything, it would start like moving, like it would start like scooting over here, and it's like I didn't like mentally do that, I was just near it and it got excited, but like, or my energy started moving it, but I wasn't like consciously doing it. And so one of the things that took me so long but just recently stopped is accidental things stopped happening. But because of that, it's been hard to like have intentional things happen because I stopped having accidental things happen. So like a bit of a trade-off. But because I have been able to consciously, like intentionally do small things, I know it's like possible, but it's really hard to build up. So I feel like maybe I used all the energy I had, and I'm just trying to like see what I can do in the meantime before I like get it back, or maybe I'll get lucky and it'll come back. But like I'm definitely trying to like build it up from nothing, it feels like. So I don't know. But to have like one or two little moments that I felt like I like kind of proved that I can do it, it helps to have like the stamina. Like I feel like I really only need one, like a good example is like with music. If I posted like one song that got like 50 views, I'm like, oh my god, that's a lot of people. So I could post 1,000 songs after that get like 0 views or 1 view each, because one time one got 50 views and I'm like, oh my god, that's a lot of people, you know, like I should keep going. Like I feel like I take like one time of like positive reinforcement for the rest of my life. I'm like, okay, this was successful, keep going. But then like I don't notice like all the unsuccessful times, like I just keep going because I'm like, well, this is so successful. Like the one successful moment with music, you know, and then like 50 views, that's it. But like I was like, that's so many people, that's such a high number of people that like it doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna keep going forever. One thing I'm scared of when working on telekinesis, I know that I'm opening up to like more psychic energy, so it actually makes me scared of like other people's. It made me scared of, what's it called? The people who like rise the dead bodies out of the graves. I've been so scared of having one walk up to me and just reach a hand out or something like that. I'm like, please don't. I've been scared of that. I've been a little scared of like people teleporting or like randomly disappearing. But again, because when you open your energy up to like you practicing one, it's like you remember everybody else might be practicing their own version, which is gonna be a way scarier version of you, because you're you, so you know what you're doing. You know, it's like, oh, I just wanted to move this tinfoil like that, you know, but then somebody else is doing something, and you're like, wait. It's like you can sense that like others people across the planet who are trying to do like the real one, you know, they're trying to do like the big one, and you're like, I swear mine was gonna be so innocent, like, but you can feel it, that there's people who are like achieving success at like rising a dead body from a grave or something, like reanimating somebody, you're like, oh my god, like, not only am I not at that level, but like I'm scared of being hunted by that level, to be honest, because you can sense it when you start to open up just even a tiny bit. It's like we are not the same thing. Yeah. But I do feel like whatever energy you start to choose to open yourself up to, it's like you get scared of attracting the thing that you decided to be, but the way worse version and the way stronger version and the way crazier, like, they have their own morals version, you know? Like, whoa. I wouldn't say us as the same, but maybe you do, you know? So it's like scary. Because then you start to get into like, okay, like teleportation, like what if they're teleporting dead bodies somewhere? Like it starts to get scary. You're like, oh my god, what? Like what is really going on, you know? Yeah. One step at a time. One step at a time. Because what? What? Oh my god. The fucking, what's it called? The ghost that lives here distracted me because it's opening doors, because it has energy, it's showing off, it's kind of bragging. And I can't even do this. Okay, I get it, like, you're stronger, you're opening doors, like, okay, so, it's not me. Interesting. I definitely got more spider webs, some gemstones, and then a piece of the floor from the shopping mall closest to my house, the indoor mall, just in my ball of energy, but it didn't do anything to the target. We still not strong enough. mosquito. I thought it was a spider just hanging there, but it wasn't. Oh my god. Please, 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 don't prove I'm right. I keep like touching it more than getting results. Ugh. I also want to add, when I first started doing telekinesis, for me, that was when I started getting results, but I could even rub my hands together and the tinfoil would start moving. It wasn't something I was choosing. But then I would try to get results and I would get results, but that was the problem. That was kind of the trade-off. Like, I would sit here and like just go like this, and then this would start moving. You know, it would like fall off the table or something. And like, that was why I took a longer break, because I felt like I couldn't get to the next level, but I also couldn't stop the accidental energy from happening. So, yeah. And then it was hard to hold myself accountable for like practicing. I would do it for like hours, but I just stopped because I felt like, again, I was always at the same level. I could never seem to upgrade. So now I am at the next, I'm calling it the next level, like the level just barely above that. But I don't know what it's going to take to escape from this level, because the process essentially took years to upgrade from the level I was on, but like I just took a long break. Yeah. Hell no. But yeah, the ghost is way stronger than me. The ghost of the kitchen past, I don't know. So, it is what it is, but it's also good because I can stop the spirit interference now. So, before, part of the gray area was I didn't know for sure if the results were coming from me. Because I was getting results from day one, but they were very mild results. I do think it was from me, but like, it was unprovable whether it was or not. So I didn't want it to be like, oh, a spirit is always there to like help me. I wanted it to feel like earned, but like, you know. Like, it's cool, but I don't just want like the real version of special effects. I want to also build up the strength on my own too. So which is funny to have a preference between the two. But yeah, I don't want to always have someone invisible who just moves it the way that I was thinking I wanted to move it, you know? I started off with a lot of help with that as far as physical results. I would always feel like there's a ghost in the room that just moves it the exact way I wanted to move it, but I couldn't prove it was me. Because I couldn't stop having the accidental ones too, you know? So it is what it is. But I also made music in between the time. So I think it helped with a different kind of energy, but energy is energy. So I was building up some kind of energy, and there's still crossover with it, even if most of it is just like mental, or like when you're writing a song and you're singing it, that's talking, really. You're just writing out what you want to say, and then you're using a different tone of voice and like style, but it's talking. You're pronouncing some words that you wrote down on paper. You know, it's writing a story, like as if it's a novel, especially if it's a long album, and then talking. So it's basically writing a novel and reading it. But then it activates talking about whatever you started writing your song about. So, yeah. But it uses up the psychic energy. That I think you eventually get back at the speed that you would get back a normal spell. So your first one could be sooner, but then you used all your energy, and it's a long time till you sort of get your energy return on whatever spell you did. But telekinesis, I don't know, dude. I don't know. But at least a ghost isn't doing it for me. The ghost is showing off that it's better than me. we've upgraded in a weird way. But at least I don't look like I need help. I don't know. They don't pity me. The ghosts don't pity me, okay? They want to see me do it while they show off how much better they are. I've definitely done some Halloween telekinesis before though, like I would definitely do it on Halloween. But did I do it when it wasn't October? I don't think I tried it when it wasn't like October or November or December. Like I think those were my months with real and accidental results, but there was always something, you know. But then I wouldn't do it like the rest of the year. So at least I'm not getting accidental results. I think that might be good. I don't know. I don't know. There's definitely insecurities with letting you see beginning stage practice, because as judgment-free as it is that absolutely nothing is happening, it's mental that you work through your own like perceived judgment of other people in a way. Like it's mental for me to not think you judge me, which is what music actually helps with a lot. So I don't think it's weird to get to a level eventually where you do show people, but then it's just hours of you sitting there doing this and nothing happens, because I'm still trying to make sure I know what I'm trying to do with it. Because to visually picture something on here that is equally as realistic as the object itself, just from like my mental image of it, and then make that so strong that I can physically move it, and then be like, you know, people wouldn't judge it. It's mental to get past that. So if it's hours of me just staring at it and nothing's happening, that's the goal. Hopefully we do that for 10 years. Or I get lucky and it starts moving. Either one's the goal. But if I can't throw this across the room with my eyes, then the goal is that for the next 10 years I'm staring at it for hours for no reason. One of the two things is going to make me very successful. I don't know which one, but very successful at staring at tinfoil. You know, I'm either going to be a professional tinfoil starer at her, or I'm going to move it with my eyes. Either one is fun. Okay, low standards is a place to start. And then looking like a clown to the audience is a place to start, because that's not weird. It's kind of the goal. It's fine. It's not that weird. Okay. But I'm glad that we at least don't have any like ghost interference, because I felt like it was getting in my eyes, meaning I could think that it was me some of the time when it wasn't, you know? And like, that's not helpful. You have to know for sure that your results are you. But I think also the competitive part of me was like concerned that other people could learn too easily at it. So then my results lessened, but also got more controlled at the same time, because I wanted to make sure that other people weren't going to beat me at it. But I think that was where the transition actually helped me, because I almost started to like lose the accidental fireworks of it when I wanted other people to not be able to beat me. But there's still a weird insecurity of like, okay, if they practice more, like it's almost like I want to be able to prevent their results, which doesn't make sense. But yeah. And I think when I started turning on a camera for it, the last thing I wanted was like a comment from some dude saying that like they thought they were somehow controlling it through the recording. You know what I mean? But it's like, then try it. You know what I mean? And it's not doing anything. But it's also not about the people. But like, you know what I mean? I tune the audience out easily, but compared to like past times. I keep accidentally hitting it. Because the goal is to actually be so bored that it starts working. But that's so hard. Especially when you get more energy from having the camera on, technically. I know it might take 10 years longer to get results because of that, but I wanted to use it to like hold myself accountable more, to like be able to prove that I tried for like this much time, you know? And like it had my full attention. But because it's better than 0 practice. No results still, I just kept hitting it by accident. So again, the goal is to get so bored that that your mind actually like makes you evolve faster like a Pokemon, but you don't start to Pokemon yourself in your evolution until you're so bored that you can't believe you're still doing it. But I have so much energy that it's actually hard to get to that point, because I'm just thinking about all this and that and this and that, like while I'm doing the meditation, but like it's like fun. I don't know. It's not like the boredom of reading a textbook. Honestly, right now, reading a textbook would be fun to me because I have so much energy that I'm like, oh, like reading a textbook, like, oh. I bet rats don't get to do this, like weird stuff, like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like I have energy, so like it's like, but not like as controlled, right? Like if I could have it like come out of my eyes or my hands or something, like that would be different. Still grateful for no accidental results, but like if I do it for 5 hours, maybe I'll get so bored. The point is, if you get so bored that you would rather like jump off a bridge than keep going, but instead you keep going, I feel like that's when the results happen. But it's so hard to get to that point. I'm like, oh, I'm just happy, like having fun. Anyway. I get it, Ghost. You're better than me. From whatever century you're even from. Oh no. He died. Also, part of why I have the camera on, I know, unpopular, weird choice, right? Bougie choice. For this activity. But I will say, I'm super interested in getting results that are for me, not for the audience, which I know you might be like, well, then that sounds counterproductive. But hear me out. If somebody gets results towards the end of the video, that means whatever was causing the results to happen or not happen wanted people to watch it till the end, which is weird. Actually eerie. Actually doesn't make sense to have happen because you're not consciously like, oh, I don't want results till then. Doesn't make sense. Right? Almost as if most people are not supposed to see it and they click off the video, but that's not what I want because it's not about the audience. The audience is there, but it's not about them being invited to see it or not see it, because as long as the results are for me, I'll be so strong that it hopefully won't be caused or uncaused by whether somebody is there or not. Because if you can only do telekinesis when nobody's there, how are you going to use that for practical things if you ever had to, right? Because there's always someone there, or there's always not someone there. Like, it's kind of, if you can forget the camera's there and it doesn't matter if somebody's there or not, my theory is that the results are more of a regardless if they're of a possible audience situation rather than because of or because of not having one. So I swear I've been sitting here staring at these for a while. All I'm getting is you know, weird vibes so far. Dystopian Earth vibes, but like, you know how there were those people a long time ago who would steal coins off the eyes of like bodies and stuff? I'm working on getting past a fear of those dudes for some reason that should have, but yeah. Because in actuality, it's completely innocent to show you the level that I'm at, and it doesn't mean that it's like thievery, so it's not me. It's not about having magical gifts or not, because if I record tinfoil, that doesn't mean something good or bad. And if something happens, then yay, I recorded a good moment. If nothing happens, there's nothing weird or wrong about recording tinfoil, so I didn't feel like it was me. But what is it that makes me feel the presence of that then if I know that it's not me? Then it's eerie to feel the presence of those dudes that would steal coins off the dead body's eyes. Then it's off-putting, right? And it's like, why do I feel that, you know? You know what it is? It's not that I feel like it's me at all, because I'm in like a different kind of energy. Not even really an earth energy, but like it's totally an earth energy that I feel. But it's almost like if someone else were in the room projecting that onto me. Like if they see themselves as so much superior that they see me as that. But it's like nobody's in the room. So it's eerie. But again, it's just giving like old-timey earth energy that's like super starved and weird choices and stuff. Super old-timey though. I don't know. But always like death focused and funeral focused and like what? Weird. But from like the 1700s, 1600s, 1500s, 1400s, like a little bit of 1800s, but it's like less dominant because it feels older than that. But like why? I think I'm more in a feeling energy than a seeing energy right now. But I know like my third eye is good when it's open. It's just like not right now. It's more feeling. Weird. But good practice though, so far, because why not? I stared at the back of this for so long that it looked like there was a baby elephant on there. And I was like, that's Ganesha when he was a baby. I stared at this for so long. It looked like Ganesha when he was a baby. But it just looks like this. I'll let you try to find Ganesha when he was a baby. An elephant. Do you see it? Probably not. Because where's Ganesha when he was a baby? If you pause the video, there's no way Ganesha when he was a baby is on there. But that's what I saw on there. So, yeah. I still see it. After all that, it's still there. Alright, short practice today, only an hour, 29 minutes, and most of it was me talking and just meditating on this, but it is 12:12 at night, if you can't tell by how dark that is. Anyway, I'm just gonna go to sleep, but I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.